Rock and roll! CJ Stroud touchdown! We're going to be hearing a lot of that this season. And on today's show, I'm breaking down why the former Ohio State quarterback is going to be the Texans franchise QB for the foreseeable future. Our guy, CJ7, holding it down. H-Town, let's rock and roll. But before we get into it, I need some help from you. I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers here on the channel. And hey, I'm being told by the bosses, we'll do some live shows if we get some more subscribers this season. Maybe some watch parties. Maybe some more Texans live shows. I don't know. We're going to have some fun, but we got to get some more subscribers before we do any of that. So if you haven't already, go down and hit that subscribe button before we get the show started. Reason number one, Stroud can be a franchise QB. Because he had some great production in college. I mean, obviously, he was taken second overall in the 2023 NFL Draft for a reason, folks. He balled out at the Ohio State University. And if you look at his numbers, he had some fantastic years throwing the football. I mean, 71.9% completion percentage in 2021, 66.3 in 2022. But, I mean, you look at the numbers there, only 12 interceptions through 2 years, 44 and 41 touchdowns, respectively. Oh, my goodness. And, I mean, he was slinging the rock all around. C.J. Stroud had a great college career, and that's why the Texans took him at the top of the draft this year. This kid has all the measurables, 6'3", 214 pounds. This dude can be the Texans QB for the foreseeable future. And I think, really, the sky's the limit with this kid. You know, obviously, not a running quarterback, but able to, evade the pocket, has pretty good pocket presence. And I think under the right tutelage, under the right coaching, he can really blossom into one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And obviously, there's only one guy taken before him. That guy, Bryce Young. So I have a quick question for you at home. Who do you think has more passing touchdowns in 2023? This is a spicy question. Who do you think it is? Do you think it's the first overall pick or the second overall pick? If you think it's Bryce Young, go down there and type your BY in the comment section. If you think it's my boy, rock and roll, CJ Stroud, go down there and type CJ in the comment section. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So when a YouTube ad break hits, scroll on down and answer today's pinned question. Second reason why Stroud can be a franchise QB. He has a QB-friendly offensive coordinator in Bobby Slowik. I mean, I was really excited with the Texans hiring DeMeco Ryans, and then the news of him bringing over the 49ers passing game coordinator to run this Texans offense really has me jazzed up. This is what CBS Sports actually had to say on Slowik being the Texans X-factor this season. The Texans hired DeMeco Ryans as their head coach this offseason, and Ryans brought Slowik with him from San Francisco to Houston. As the passing game coordinator for the 49ers, he was in charge of helping Kyle Shanahan marry his diverse run game to the pass, and he'll have to bring that bag of tricks to the Texans. With Houston not having nearly the same pass catching or offensive line, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, talent that the Niners have, it will be a challenge for Slowik to replicate that success. But other Shanahan-system coordinators have been able to get pretty good results outside of San Francisco. So it's certainly not an impossible task. We're about to see if he and the Texans are up for it. And you know what? I really think Slowik and the Texans are up for it. And as they said in the article, coordinators from the Shanahan tree have done pretty well for themselves. You know, he comes from that Shanahan coaching tutelage of, a West Coast style offense. I really think what he'll be able to bring to the Texans is, a different mindset, and him pairing with DeMeco Ryans, they're already familiar with each other from being on the same coaching staff. I think they're going to bring that same chemistry over to the Texans and really help out both sides of the ball. I mean, as we see what the 49ers were able to do last year, throwing the football, 13th in passing yards, maybe not the best, but passing touchdowns, they were 4th. Interceptions, 3rd best in the league. Net yards per pass attempt, also 3rd in the league. So when you look at the numbers, and you look what he was able to do with the 49ers last season, it's really exciting to see, if he can possibly teach CJ Stroud, if he can, coach him up. I think that'll be a great marriage of an offensive coordinator and quarterback. And that's really what it comes down to for a young quarterback is, can he get the right coaching? Can he get the help he needs? Because obviously he's going to have some rookie moments. Obviously he is going to struggle at times acclimating to the NFL game. But if he can have a smart-minded offensive coordinator, if he can get into the right system, that will help CJ Stroud leaps and bounds going into his first season. Third reason, and I kind of alluded to it in that quote by CBS Sports, I think the Texans have a really solid offensive line. That was kind of the first thing that DeMeco Ryans, Nick Caserio did this offseason was shore up the offensive line. They traded for Shaq Mason, who's going to start at right guard, a great veteran at the guard spot. They drafted Juice Scruggs. I mean, hell of a name, Juice. Hell of a name. And I really think, Laramie Tunsil, Titus Howard, the first-round pick from last year, Kenyon Green, if this Texans offensive line can gel and play up to their potential, I really do think they could be one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. Titus Howard playing for a new contract. He has a lot to prove. Laramie Tunsil has been one of the best left tackles in the NFL. It's really up to this interior. Obviously, like I said, the Texans made the move of trading for Shaq Mason earlier in the offseason, and I think that is going to help this offensive line so much moving forward. Kenyon Green is only going to grow in his second year, and if Juice Scruggs can give us some good play from the center position, watch out. This Texans offensive line is looking pretty good to me. Now, I asked you earlier, go down and hit that subscribe button and make sure you have your notifications turned on. You don't want to miss any moment when it comes to the Houston Texans this season. If they make a move, if they make a signing, if anything happens with this team, we'll be on it for you. I guarantee it. So go down and hit that subscribe button and make sure you have your notifications turned on so you never miss a moment of Houston Texans football. Lastly, last reason why Stroud can be a franchise quarterback in the NFL, he stepped up in key moments for Ohio State. I mean, you look at last season, the toughest game on his schedule, college football playoff semifinal versus Georgia, and was arguably his best game of the entire season. This is his stat line. 23 of 34, 348 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And honestly, they should have beat Georgia. They should have come back if it wasn't for a shanked kick by the Ohio State kicker at the end of regulation as the New Year's ball dropped. He played his best ball against the best defense in college football last year. When you put it like that, you're like, you know what? This guy might be ready for the NFL. He might just be a good quarterback if he's playing against the best defense in college football and putting up those types of numbers. Obviously, when the lights were the brightest, he came out to play, and that's what you need at the quarterback position. Because once this Texans team makes it to the playoffs, once this Texans team is playing meaningful games towards the end of the year, you want a quarterback that's not going to shrivel under pressure, but is going to play his best games under pressure. And I really think CJ Stroud has the ability to do just that. And I just want to say thank you for all of the real ones who made it to the end of today's video. H-Town, hold it down. If you made it to the end of today's video, spam those H's in the comments. Let's freaking go. I appreciate every single one of you who clicked on this video, watched to the end, and I want to recognize the real ones down in the comment section. So if you made it to this point, you're here. If you're about to see the end screen of this video, go down and spam the H's so I know who the real ones are.